Hi, Miguel. Hi, everybody. This is Stacy here. Stacy from 24/7, right here in Costa Rica, where I have a house where I live, where I have this dome as well, as you can see, where I do my trainings and my retreats sometimes. But I'm in the middle of the jungle, as you can see, and maybe you can hear as well. I'm in the middle of the jungle here, and this is a great place to retreat myself from the very busy life that I have. Because apart from making music, sorry about this, making music, I'm also a trainer, coach, and I give retreats to help people with the balance of the mind and balance of the body, and to balance the mind and the body with each other together so that you can have the ultimate health about this. So this is where I am, Costa Rica. But I thank you very much for asking me to give my side of the story of my experience with Kelly Overett in the period that she was with me and with 24/7 in 2023. This was a very disturbing period in my life, to be very honest with you. I never knew that it would turn out this way. Working with Kelly in 24/7 was my idea because I know Kelly from the 90s, obviously, and we at that time we were both with. I was working with Nance and she was working with Rodney. And Rodney was my buddy, and she was also a good friend. We got along with each other very well, but I never really got the chance to see how their actual show was, even though we traveled together, or we met each other during tours in every continent of the world, in Europe, but also in Asia, in Japan, also in South America, and in Australia and Africa. But we never really, because everybody was busy with their own show, so you know each other, you know the songs, and everybody was competing in the charts, who's number one, who's number two, but you never really get to see how the performance is. Now, I've always been a big fan of Cappella. Cappella, the production is wonderful, the synthesizer is great. I love this aggressive touch of making music, and I'm the biggest fan of the vocals. The vocals of Cappella was, for me, magical. I love big vocals. I love the big voices, and you know the way it was back then. If you see the videos of Cappella from the time that Kelly was there, she was the singer. So I associated Kelly with the vocals. So I was a big fan of Cappella, and I was a big fan of Kelly as well, because she was the singer, supposedly, allegedly, the singer of the songs. So we got along very well, and everything was nice, and I never doubted that she was not the singer. I didn't know what was happening behind the scenes. I was busy with 24/7 and doing my thing. Later on, we had this revival with all the 90s acts, 24/7, Two Brothers on the Fourth Floor, but also Hathaway and Culture Beat and Dr. Alban, and everybody was coming back on the scene, but Cappella wasn't there, and that always surprised me. And I was like, okay, what happened? Because there's always troubling things behind the scenes of many 90s acts. But later on, I discovered that there was a problem between Kelly and Gianfranco, the producer. I didn't know what happened, but okay. And so me and Leanne, we were 24/7 for 12 years. We traveled around the world and toured and have had the most wonderful shows. They're all on YouTube. Most wonderful shows everywhere around the world. People going crazy. We had shows from 3,000 people to 20,000 or to 25,000 people, and everybody was going crazy, and we were very happy with what we were doing. But me and Leanne were also private partners, and we already had one kid together, Milan, and then she got pregnant of a second child, which is now San Luca. But we had shows. We had a tour planned for 2023, and so the question was, okay, what are we going to do? Are we going to just cancel the tour, or maybe we can find a replacement for Leanne? But who is going to be able to replace Leanne? Leanne is like the face of 24/7 as well since the past 12 years, and she's a good singer. She's stunning. She looks beautiful. She has style. She's ripped. She has you know. So who will be able to replace that? And who will be able, because we need a name. I wanted to have a name for some that everybody in the 90s, all the fans knew. But everybody's busy. Everybody of Two Unlimited is busy. Everybody of Two Brothers is busy. A Teaspoon, everybody was busy. And then all of a sudden, I saw some posts of Kelly posting photos and videos of the 90s. And I was like, maybe she could be, because she's a big name still, but she's not performing yet. So this might be an opportunity to work with her and to have her replacing Leanne. She would be perfect because she also has the voice. That was my expectation. She also has the voice, the big voice, which can even maybe be bigger than the voice of Leanne. Let me try and contact her. So I did contact her, and then she said, okay, well, let's try it. But I said, okay, let's do it. And then I called the producer of 24/7 and I said, you know, I got a replacement for Leanne. It's going to be Kelly of Cappella. And then he said, well, that's nice, but there's a lot of rumors that it's not her voice on the records, on the releases. Are you sure she can sing? And I was like, I didn't really consider this, because I just guessed that it was her voice. So I approached Kelly and said, do you want to replace Leanne? And she said, well, yeah, I'd like to do that because I want to come back to doing shows anyway. But I said, but listen, there's some rumors that you're not the voice, because I want you to come in 24/7 like Cappella and 24/7. But are you the original singer? He said, well, the vocals are a little bit edited and there's something done with it, but my voice is almost similar to the original, and that was good for me, because I really am a fan of the big voice, the big vocals of Cappella. So we started working. And I told the producer that, yeah, she's good. She's the voice. And I said, well, Kelly, can you send me a tape where you sing? And she said, well, Stacey, I'm not going to send you a tape. I'm recording now an album that I'm going to release as Kelly O, former Cappella. And so there you will hear the vocals. I was like, okay, but you can sing now as well. But she didn't want to sing. So that kind of troubled me in my mind, but I'm like, I trusted her. And she was recording it. And it took a long time. I said, Kelly, where are the recordings? Can I hear something? He said, well, it's not finished yet. The producer needs to edit it here and there and mix it. But it will be finished. Because we needed to be finished because the tour was starting at a certain date. And this was, you know, we were coming to that date already. So I really wanted to know how we're going to do that. So she kind of manipulated the situation that it got so far that there was 2 weeks before the show that I finally heard her recordings without the Cappella vocals, and I was shocked. I was amazed of the poor quality of her vocals after being processed for months. So I said, what is this? We cannot work with this. You are not the voice of Cappella. She said, well, I am, but you know, we have to work something. We have to do something on the vocals. So she came up with all kinds of justifications and stuff like that. The biggest problem was that we had no way back, because we were 2 weeks before the show, the tour would start, and she knew that. So she was postponing this moment as far as she could, so that we were in a situation that we had to work with her. And this is what actually happened. We had no choice to work with her. And I was like, okay, but I cannot have this, because all the agencies, they said, are you sure that she's the original vocalist of Cappella? Because we want to have the big voice then, and then it will be able to compare this with Leanne. So I was just hoping that it was true, that she was not lying to me. And I said, yes, she's going to be good. When I heard her singing, I was really disappointed, and I was shocked, actually. And the first show was a drama for me, because that's where I saw that and hear that she cannot sing at all, and she wanted to mime over the voices, because she said at a certain point, can I have the vocals of Leanne on the performing tape, and also the vocals of Cappella, so that I can have a guide? And I was like, why do you need a guide since you're the big voice of Cappella? But I was like, okay, maybe she has a reason for that. And later on, I got to discover what the reason was, because she cannot sing at all. So this was a real problem. And after the first show, I got a lot of complaints of fans and a lot of complaints of the organizers, the promoters, saying, she's miming, she's not singing. What is this? How can you go on stage with someone like this when she's not even the real singer? And we already knew this. I wasn't aware of the fact that it was well known all around the world already. I trusted on her. I didn't expect her to lie to me about that. So the day after the first show, I called her and I said, Kelly, what is this? What happened? How come you perform so bad? How come your vocals are so bad? How come you don't sing at all? The microphone was on. What happens? And she got so mad, so frustrated, because she was exposed. And this is where things turned a different way, because she saw me now as a threat to her image, the image that she was created, and she wanted me out of that situation. So from there on, things turned a different way, which was very bad. A very important thing is also that, and I think I will say that again later on, that she teamed up with the management, also claiming and acting as if she was the real voice of Cappella. And of course, they saw money in that. They saw possibilities. Oh, we can work with the singer. We can work with the singer. Because I was retiring. So this tour was the end, my final tour, and then I would stop. So the management and the agency and the producer were like, okay, let's have her in 24/7 now. Let's give her the stage, and after Stacy is finished, then we can work on with her. But the secret agenda is something that I will talk about later on. The secret agenda was then only appeared, and was very bad, and I really hated that situation. Yeah, so that was the situation when we started. I was very disappointed in how she was, and that right after the first show, we kind of had a problem with each other, because I knew that we didn't have a choice but working with her. But I knew, because the organizer of the first event said, Stacy, what is this? This is not what you promised me to be. So I was in a very difficult situation then, and I felt that Kelly was always was going to protect herself, because this is where I understood that she had another agenda, that she didn't want to help us out and making money at the same time, but she had an agenda. And I didn't know that, so that she was working towards her agenda and actually was using 24/7 and me to fulfill her agenda. And that's even how she got into the management of 24/7 and the agency to work on that agenda without me knowing this. And even this is what happens sometimes in show business. The management and the agency were always looking for business as well. And as far as they knew, just like me, Kelly was the voice of Cappella shows, so she had a lot of value because she was the singer and the face. They didn't know that she was a very poor singer, and they didn't know that she wasn't the voice at all. So they saw money and they saw chances. And apparently she went to the management and said, I want to have a career after this tour with 24/7. So you take me there, and don't let Stacy block my career, because if I do it, I will do it with you as a manager and with you as an agency. And this was a very refined way of getting the management and the agency behind her, knowing that she wasn't the good singer. But she didn't want to be exposed by me. So she was like, let's get them in my camp, so that she was with them and I was by myself around that time. So that was very, very annoying and very hard. How would I describe the overall working dynamic during the tour? Well, this was very, very hard for me, because once I discovered that she had her own agenda, everything changed. I didn't trust her anymore. There's always that her husband was there, present at every show, and this is something that I thought was very strange, because why would that be, and why didn't she discuss it with me? I know why she didn't discuss it, because she had an agenda also with her husband, because I noticed that her husband had to constantly film only her, as if she was the only one in the group. But in the beginning I didn't notice this, but later on I got all the dots connected, and I thought, okay, so this was all a part of her plan to have footage of big shows and big crowds that she could use for her solo career when I was asking her to help us out when Leanne was pregnant and to make money. And maybe we could launch her solo career, but then let's discuss it so we can make a strategy. So the dynamic in the beginning was very good, but in the end it was very bad because what happened, let's see what you say. Can you describe how backing tracks, vocals, and stage arrangements were typically handled at that time? Okay, as I told you, we had a backing track with the vocals of Leanne and the vocals of the original Cappella. And when I was convinced of the fact that it was not her voice, I wanted to change that. So I said, okay, since you promised me that you are the voice of Cappella, I will take down the vocals of Leanne and I will take down the vocals of Cappella so that she could do it live and showed me and the people that you are actually the singer of Cappella. So that's what I did. I took them down and she panicked. She was terrified. She was angry. She was frustrated. She was furious because she would be exposed, of course, that she cannot sing at all without the vocals of Leanne and without the vocals of Cappella. So she reversed it. She called the management and she said, Stacy's trying to make a fool of me, make a clown of me. So I need to have the vocals again back. I need to have the backing vocals of Leanne and Cappella because Stacy is making a fool of me. And this is when the management thought that I was actually trying to do that, make a fool of her, and then we got to be opponents as well. So not just me, but also me against Kelly and me against the management and the management of 24/7 and the agency. So we had to perform then. So you can imagine that on stage we had a completely fucked up energy. And what I wanted back then, because the shows were not good, she didn't dance well, she didn't dress right, it was nothing compared to Leanne, and she didn't even make an effort to try and compare herself with Leanne. And apart from that, she dances strangely and she mimed constantly. So I was very disappointed. And also, all the promoters of the shows complained. Also, the fans complained because everybody saw that she was playbacking and miming and she was not singing. So everybody was complaining. And I said this to the management. I said, look, we cannot work with her anymore because she is not keeping her promise to me, and she lied actually and manipulated everything just to have the stage for her solo career. But at that time I didn't know that the interest for her solo career was also the interest of the management. So they tried to keep her in the band next to me when I was trying to keep her out of the band and have Leanne back as soon as I can. Leanne was recovering and she was recovering very fast. So I told the management, Leanne is coming back, she is recovering. So let's replace her because everybody is complaining. So what's the sense of keeping her with us when she breaks down the act? This was very strange for me to hear that the management wanted her in the act, but this is how she manipulated the situation by doing that. You ask, how did those experiences influence me personally and professionally? Personally, I was very disappointed because she played me this way and I didn't notice it in time. When I noticed it, it was too late, and then we were in a situation that it was unworkable. She's very calculating, and she has this mission, strategy, and I wasn't aware of that. I didn't expect that from her because I only asked her to help us out, and then we could help her launch a solo career. But she didn't want to help me at all. And she knew that she was lying about her vocal skills. So I was very disappointed. And the thing is that I was working towards my final show because I was signing out, resigning. And I didn't want my final show to be like this, with this energy, with this talented woman. So I wanted Leanne back. So this was going to be now my ambition to have my final show with Leanne and not with Kelly. But this was a very, very big show. And you can imagine that with her agenda, she wanted to be on stage with me during this final show. But this was my final show for fans that loved me and Leanne. And Leanne was recovered. And also the organizers said, we don't want to have Kelly next to you. We want to have Leanne. If Leanne is recovered, please bring her to the show. That's what we want. We pay for the show, and that's what our fans want. But Kelly did not want that, and the management wanted Kelly to have the big show. This was very frustrating for me, and it really was a setback for my career and my professional attitude towards the business itself, because it was very ugly. How did this, okay, regarding the controversy on the behind the scenes backstage, at what point did you feel the working relationship began to change? As I told you before, it was when I knew that she had an agenda, and when I knew that she couldn't sing at all, because she's a really, really terrible singer. She doesn't have any vocal skills. Well, she has vocal skills, but nothing compared to what she pretends to be. And this is a problem. Just tell me and we can work it out, or I can at least make a decision according to your honest truth. But now she deceived everybody, and this was a real problem for me. What were the main sources of tension, of disagreement during the time you worked together? That's because she was lying, and because she was very calculative. So I didn't trust her at all. Whatever it was that she said, I didn't trust her. I had a very good relationship with our tour manager, and our tour manager even told me she cannot be trusted. She and her husband cannot be trusted. They're trying to do something and use you and 24/7 to do so. So even the tour manager didn't trust her. So this was a really big problem when we were on tour. You know, I would really loved her to be honest, and then we could find a solution. But she kept lying and kept manipulating every situation. She didn't want to talk to me anymore at a certain stage, because I was a threat to her lies, to her play, you know, and she didn't want to have me close to her anymore, because she kind of manipulated everyone around her, her husband, her family, her kids. Everybody believed that she was the singer. She lied to everybody. How can you do that as a human being? I think she even lied to herself. But so that's where everything went wrong, actually. How did the working relationship evolve after the tour ended? Well, to be honest, I resisted the fact that she was going to be next to me at the final show. So I took Leanne with me. And by that time, she didn't want to talk to me anymore. But she was afraid that I was going to do that and have Leanne on stage when she wanted to be with that big crowd. She wanted to shine, which she can't do because she's not shining at all. And she knows that she cannot compete with Leanne on stage. Never. Leanne is an original singer and whatever. She couldn't sing because we have this, let's say, it's like a game that we do with the audience, right? It's like a hit quiz. We sing a certain part a cappella, and then the crowd recognize it and they sing it along. So let's say I say, what is love? Baby, don't hurt me. And then the crowd sings that. But we also did it with Take Me Away. Take me away, and I will try to let you know, baby. This is what Leanne sang. And then the audience sang the rest of the song with it. But this is something Kelly could not do because she cannot sing. So she had to find ways to get over. She said, no, well, I don't really like the song, and I don't really like this. And can you do it by yourself? Because I don't feel like doing it, stuff like that. So this was a problem. So when Leanne, she was afraid that Leanne would be on stage, because Leanne can sing live. We don't even need music. All we need is microphones. And she did everything she could to stop Leanne coming on stage. This was really ugly because she talked to the management, she talked to the agency, she talked to the sound engineer. She did everything to block Leanne from coming on stage. But I was too strong, and I let Leanne come on stage anyway. And when that happened, she tried to sabotage the whole show. So she was jumping in front of Leanne and really annoying people, so that she was frustrated because of that. When she's a nobody, she's no talent, and only the fact that she did that is a proof that this girl, this woman, can only thrive on others and on lies and on deceit. It was terrible to see how she was trying to spoil our last show of our career. She was really evil during that. So after that, I discovered that so we were finished. That was our final show. And after that, I discovered that the management and the agency kept on working with her. And this is why I knew that this was the whole game from the start. All right, so they wanted her to be on stage with me so that they can keep on working with her. So they kind of united and tag teamed to use Stacy and the name 24/7 to launch her career after I retired. But you know, if they would do that and tell me we could work together, but it's the lies and the manipulation that I hated so much. And later on, she blocked me, and I heard that she was talking bad about me only to protect her, the image, the fake image that she had created, because I was a threat to expose her, just like Gianfranco is and everybody who was close to her. What do you think is important for the public to know about that period? I think it's very important to know that, I mean, I'm a 90s kid, and I am a part of the Eurodance era, and I love that, and I love the 90s fans. And if I sing Slave to the Music or I rap, I do it because I wrote those songs as well. I wrote all the 24/7 songs starting from Slave to the Music. And if I rap, take your time, find a way to do control the line. Let the record get into your mind and let it start to renovate. Do it good, do it now, and don't you wait, because I'm an addict. I don't give none. Yes, I'm hooked if a music comes to run. And if you want to be hot, take the score and give me more. I want to do that live as well as I did on the record. This is how I make people happy, by being honest and being authentic in what I do. Is it love? Is it love? This is my song that I've written, songs that I sing. And I hope that all artists, just like Hathaway, just like Culture Beat, just like Too Unlimited, just like Alban, we all do our thing live. We all do it the way we can. We don't deceive and we don't mislead the fans, because we love the fans, and the fans deserve to not be lied to. They deserve honesty, and at least say that you're the face but not the voice. Stop lying. People like you because you're the face, not the voice because you're not the voice. Be honest, and then everything is okay. And if you're not honest, if you want to be in the spotlight, don't do it at the cost of other people. Don't make other people look bad just for you to look good, because you have to keep lying the rest of your life, and that must be very troubling for her as well. I cannot understand why she chooses to do it like this, hurting other people just to keep an image alive that does not exist. You got to be bad inside to do that. Is there anything important that we haven't covered of that period I'd like to add? No, I think I just told the story. I told the truth of what happened, and I don't have to remember anything, or I don't have to remember what was it that I did or what was it that I said, because it's the truth. And if the truth gives you a problem, then you're living a lie. And I dare Kelly that if she says that it's not true what I say, let's go live on Facebook. Let's go live on social media. Let's go live on Instagram. Let's talk about it when everybody is there. Don't talk of me, talk with me. Let's see what happens. Let's see if you still can say what it is that you say behind my back and behind the back of Gianfranco, because me and Gianfranco, and like many other people, we know exactly who you are, what you can, and especially what you cannot do. So your lies will be exposed once you get confronted with one of us. So if you say this is not true, and anyone who doubts what I'm saying, let's get her together, because Cappella is a very important act in the 90s, and it cannot be an act that is built on lies. So she should stop that. Do something else. If you're not born to be an artist, do something else, or do it with the act that you have, but stop lying about other people. That's all I want to say. I'm not here to let her to show her that she is bad. I am here to tell the truth, and if the truth make her bad, then that's what it is. Okay, so I hope I kind of give you some insight on what really happened. I really wish Kelly the best, but I wish everybody the best. So stop hurting people that are trying with the talent that they do have to make a living. Okay, take care. Love and peace from Stacy out of Costa Rica. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.